Hello everyone, it's been a very hectic day. You cannot even begin to imagine how hectic, it has been. But just reading about this collapse of Alau Dam, you've seen the flooding that has happened in Maiduguri. It's so sad. It's always all of these disasters are just so sad, especially when you see the ones that ought to have been prevented or could have been prevented. It makes it all the more sadder and all the more just sort of like heartbreaking that citizens are allowed to go through all of this when they shouldn't be going through all of this. So it says collapse of Alau Dam. David Hundayi uncovers plans to offer $1,000 grant to journalists to tag Maiduguri flooding as a result of climate change. So according to David Hundayi, there's something fishy that is going on. Of course, they're going to offer someone a grant. For a Nigerian, $1,000 grant is a huge sum of money because $1,000 is about 1.6 million. So if you're going to get some grant that you get 1.6 million, definitely it's going to solve a lot of problems that you're going to have. A few years ago, that $1,000 was officially like 400,000 naira, 400 and something thousand naira, and in the black market it would have been about 600 or 700,000 naira. But today we are talking about whopping 1.6 million naira. Popular investigative journalist David Hundayi has unveiled plans of Nigerian government through the African offices in Nairobi to tilt journalists towards presenting a false report about the Maiduguri flooding through a $1,000 grant offer. Hundayi made this known in a post he shared on his official X handle on Tuesday. That's today. He disclosed that the Maiduguri flooding was never an issue of climate change, rather a case of neglected maintenance by the Nigerian government of the Alau Dam, which has suffered structural damage years back. He further rained curse on any journalist who will throw caution into the air and dive into such offer to the detriment of the Maiduguri resident. His post reads, "You just know there are 8 or 9 climate NGOs with African offices in Nairobi currently falling over themselves to offer $1,000 grant to some stupid Nigerian journalists to report the flooding in Maiduguri as climate change, tying in an argument against Africa using its own fossil fuels to industrialize. For the record, here are the facts. This disaster was caused by the collapse of Maiduguri's 40-year-old Alau Dam, a dam constructed to shield Maiduguri from seasonal flooding along the Ngada River basin. This dam already suffered structural damage due to high seasonal rainfall in 1992, 1994, and 2012 and never received the required maintenance to put it back into ideal operational shape. In other words, this is an infrastructural problem, not a climate problem. It's a problem that will be solved by developing more capacity to build and adequately maintain infrastructure like Europe does, capacity that comes with cheap energy and industrialization like Europe did. If you are the Olori Buruku, according to these are David's words now, not my words, please. If I wouldn't use such words. If you are the Olori Buruku bastard journalist in Abuja that is preparing to submit that $1,000 grant application to write nonsense for white people and hurt your people in the process, you will contact untreatable genital herpes and suffer until you die. Hundayi Islam. Why the person is contacting all of this? Hope he's not going to be passing that disease to anyone. But on a very more serious and very sober news is the fact that we've seen, this flooding definitely affects lives and properties, and It's something that should have been prevented. It's something that should have never happened. And it has been allowed to happen. And like he did say, it's a structural problem. It's not a climate change problem. One of the things that have been happening is that as we go on, and this is one of the things that David Hundeyi has spoken about, which for me, I align with that thought a lot, is the fact that the Western world, Europe and other Western countries were able to develop themselves with fossil energy, with a lot of things. Right now, they now are telling us about climate change and the fact that we shouldn't use certain things, we shouldn't do certain things. We've not reached there. Like for me, I always say to people, yes, we're going to talk about the climate. The climate is important, no doubt about it, but the lives of people currently living right now is equally important, and everything has to be done to get that development that the people need, you know, that growth that is needed. Africa is really, really way behind, and if Africa is going to get its way out of, you know, the quagmire that Africa has found itself, definitely affordable energy that is going to drive industries are going to be part of the things that would be required and would be needed. And so that's one thing. That's why you see all of this fighting of you know, Dangote's refinery and all of that, and you're wondering who is afraid of Nigeria being able to produce its own oil? Who is afraid of Africa being able to produce its own oil? Yes, you're talking about climate change. Yes, you're talking about protecting the planet. Yes, you're talking about all of that. But at the end of the day, we also have to protect the means and livelihood of the people. We also have to grow the people. We also have to ensure that the people are getting the required development that they should get. And these are things that are very important. But beyond that, for me, also is the fact that stories are always killed in this country. The government gets to decide what should be reported and what should not be reported, and how they should be reported. And you see what's happening right now. Hey, they say he who pays the piper dictates the tune. And what we've seen again and again and again, it's a lot of you know, NGOs, a lot of organizations who are tilting towards a particular narrative. Some of them knowingly and some of them unknowingly, because at the end of the day, it is that person who is paying the grant that is going to determine what you're going to do with it and how you're going to do with it. But one of the things that it's really very instructive is that with what has happened now, hopefully we begin to imbibe that culture of prevention being better than cure. It doesn't make any sense if you're going to sit down and ensure that you sit down and ensure and just leave it at that things just happen and your people are the ones who are affected. Because when the things that are supposed to be done aren't done, then it's the citizens that suffer, it's the poor people that suffer. This flooding that has happened now, it's actually, you know, Nigerians that are suffering, the people of Maiduguri that have felt this first-hand impact, something that could have been prevented by using the right money in the right place, by using it judiciously. But hey, the people who are in offices are busy, you know, just wasting money, doing all the things that they want to do without caring about the lives and properties of the people. And at the end of the day, we all are affected. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.